What's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's weekly real estate tip and our weekly real estate lesson. I'm Greg Helbeck, and I bought well over 100 houses, and my goal in these videos is to provide as much value as possible in the several minutes that I make the videos. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you could subscribe to my channel, that would be great. If you can like the video, if you got value, that would also be great. And today I'm going to talk about dispositions. I'm going to talk about dispositions. I might have said that too fast, which just means selling a property, right? And I'm going to talk about mainly wholesale dispositions, and then after that, I may cover retail dispositions, and that way you'll have a pretty good ground on what I mean and what you can do to make sure that you're doing it the right way. So when it comes to dispositions, at the end of the day, if you're wholesaling a property, the number one thing you got to be aware of is selling your property for top dollar, and the best way to do that is to get your property obviously in front of the most potential buyers as possible. So in our company, what we do is we have a pretty big email list, and we send out our properties to the massive email list, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people see those emails. And when they are interested in the property, what we'll do is I have a system where people who respond to the email or who text get put into another database on like kind of a prospect database for a specific property. And then once those people obviously show interest, there's a name, phone number, email. Are they going to the showing? Did they put in an offer? So everything is kind of just really straightforward. And then from there, we generally, if it all goes well, we'll send all the buyers to the property at the same time. All the buyers know that they're competing. They're going to go for highest and best. And what we'll do is after that showing, the property we will tell them that the offers are all due at a certain time. And every buyer will submit their offer, and we'll select the highest and best offer and move forward with that buyer. So once again, we send an email. Once the email is sent, we get a bunch of responses. The people who are interested, who are not full of shit, get added to a spreadsheet, and then they get added to the appointment. Then they're going to go out. They're going to look at the property. They're going to submit an offer, and then we're going to select highest and best, right? Just by doing that alone, you're going to put another $10,000, $20,000 in your pocket per deal, because you're obviously putting the property out in front of as many buyers as possible, and you're creating competition. A lot of buyers aren't going to like that, but the people who are still interested are obviously going to, compete and bid for the property. The only time I would say not to do this is if you have a property that is, a tricky scenario where the seller is in a jam, and by sending someone in there, it's going to cause a bunch of problems. In that scenario, what I would do is, or what we do, is we simply just hit up a couple buyers who we really know, who know what they're doing, and we say, listen, if you can do this price, we'll just sell you the property. Obviously, we want to make sure we're making a pretty good profit on it. But that way, you don't have to have 10, 20 people going through a property and getting the seller all pissed off. So normally we will send as many people there as possible. But in the scenario where, there's just it's not a good time to do that, or you think it's going to really kill the deal, then we just divert to hitting up one or two buyers. Obviously, we put it out at a good price, and we go from there. That's pretty much disposition on the wholesale side. On the retail side, the big takeaway I would tell you is obviously you got to price your product right. If you misprice a house and you price it too high because you want to make money, you're going to end up sitting with the property and selling it for whatever the market deems it's worth, right? So at the end of the day, I'd rather price a property a little bit more on the lower end. This is if I'm flipping a property, then price it on the higher end, because if you price a property well on the lower side of the spectrum, there's going to be a lot of demand, and then it's ultimately going to probably create a bidding war, and it's going to drive the price all the way up. I just listed a flip in San Diego. We put it on the market for $349. It was completely renovated. Because it was priced relatively low, it drove the price all the way up to $370,000. So that's thing number one, price the property according to the market, not what you want to make. Tip number two is that you got to make sure if you're dealing with retail buyers, they are pre-qualified, they are able to get financing. You got to make sure that you're dealing with people who can actually buy the property. If you're dealing with unqualified retail buyers, you're going to get your time wasted, you're going to get frustrated, and it's just going to be a pain in the ass. So hopefully these tips were helpful. If they were, subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you're on social media, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. And if you're local to the Hudson Valley, or if you're local to San Diego, hit me up if you want a JV on deals, whether you want to wholesale them together or you want to wholesale them to me. Greg@velocityhousebuyers.com. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.